store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
AM 560 KWTO Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your local Amana dealer. Here's your hosts, Mark Withers and Mary Pearson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Mr. Mark.
Well, it's good to see you, Miss Mary.
It's always a fun Friday here, isn't it?
Hey, it's always great. This is my favorite hour of the week right here.
Mine too. And you know, it's I'm so busy here lately that it's hard to find a fun hour.
I'll tell you what, you're those saying busy as a cat in a sandbox.
I am. I
Yeah.
am. A big sandbox.
Big sandbox, yeah, that's right. You have a lot of things going.
I do, but you know, that's good for me. That keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah.
So
And I'd say that's a tough job, isn't it?
some days it can be difficult.
I
That's
know.
for sure.
I know. That's the way it is with me, for sure. So
Was it cold enough for you this morning?
I'll tell you what, it's just a wee bit chilly out there.
Yeah, I have layers on and I'm still cold outside. That wind just bites you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the wind. You know, you can sit here and look out, sun shining.
It
and
looks
it's
pretty.
beautiful. But man, you walk out and that wind catches, it's like, wow, you know, it's cold. And you know, last night we had our band practice last night down Ozark, and I was coming home about 10:30, coming up 65 Highway, and there was one spot. It was just snowing like crazy.
Really?
Yes, I couldn't believe
Well,
it.
you know, my dad called me this morning. He lives in Mansfield, and he goes, "Did you get any snow?" And I'm like, "What? Did it snow?" And they got a little dusting down there, but I didn't get anything at the lake or anywhere close to it.
Yeah.
So anyway, interesting weather we're
Yeah.
having. But
Yeah, it is.
and I noticed when I'm driving in the morning, we have got the moon has just been gorgeous. It's
Oh, yeah.
huge, and
Yeah.
it's just so pretty, and it's really cool when I drive in and I'm just kind of watching the moon, thinking,
Yeah.
"Wow, that's really neat."
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know why it's like that this time of year, but it
Yeah.
just seems it just is more noticeable to me this time
Yeah.
of year for some reason. Or
Yeah,
here
I know
lately,
it.
but
It is beautiful. I know where we have our band practice at. It's the folks, they live way off out in the country off of W Highway, way out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so beautiful when I come out to get in the truck when I was leaving last night. That moon was shining,
Yeah.
and the stars and everything. And by the time I got into Ozark, I stopped at Casey's to get me a snack to eat on the way home. And it was cloudy there, and then I get up the road, it's snowing, and so yeah.
did you think you were going the wrong
I
direction?
thought I was going the wrong way there for a little bit. Yeah, I had to stop and think, you know.
Do I want to go this way?
Yeah, really. But yeah, it's just our crazy Ozarks weather.
It is. And then 50 on Sunday.
Oh, I know it.
It's all
I know.
good.
Did you get to ride?
I did.
Last
I went
weekend?
for a little ride last Sunday, and if it's that way again this Sunday, I'll be going again.
I got
So.
I got the old motorcycle out and
Yep.
took a little circle myself. It was a beautiful day.
I
for
did
it.
too.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yep.
We do have a guest today, but
Yes, we
before we start talking with Brad, we have Brad here from Kitchenland. But I want to talk about something real quickly and remind listeners, and I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute because I've talked about this and talked about it, and I can't stress enough how important it is to have your furnace checked. And it hit home pretty hard this last week. One of our employees received a phone call that his aunt and uncle were found deceased in their home.
Oh no.
And they just found out. They had to figure out what happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
and it was carbon monoxide.
Oh wow.
And they had a 20-year-old furnace, was not doing regular maintenance, wasn't having it checked regularly and all that, and they were in their 60s, and that was totally preventable. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I know that I've talked about it, how important it is. You
Right.
cannot smell, see, or feel carbon monoxide poisoning. And it might start out gradually, and you kind of get adjusted to it, maybe your body or whatever, and they went to sleep and never woke up.
Wow.
So please, if you
Yes.
have not had your furnace checked, I would highly recommend that you call Spring Mountain Air at 831-4036. Get that taken care of. Or if you're working with someone else at this point, it's just important that you make sure that your furnace is operating safely and that you do not have something like that happen to you or your family. Yeah. It was really sad. And I did ask our employee, I said, is it okay if I talk about that? And he said, absolutely. It's that important. So I'll get off my soapbox and we'll go on with the show. But I just wanted to put that out there. You don't think it's going to happen to you, but it does. It can. So anyway, a sad thing for him, especially being in the business, but they didn't live here. So, they lived in another state. So it wasn't real, he couldn't just drive over there and do that for him. But, how sad for him that that's what he does for other people. And then that happened to his own family.
Right.
Anyway, don't put that off, folks. For less than $100, you could save your life.
Yep, absolutely. Get it done.
Anyway, now on to brighter and better subjects.
That's right.
We have Brad Schrock with us here. He's from Kitchenland. He's been on before. Welcome back, Brad. It's great to have you.
Well, good to be here. After hearing that, I think I'm going to go put the carbon monoxide detector I have that I've been in a box for 4 years and put it on the wall.
Good idea, Brad. It works better if you install those, you know. So
my wife's been on me and I haven't done it, but after hearing that, I think I better get it done.
There you go. That's something else. If you don't have a carbon monoxide detector, get one. It could save your life.
Yep.
So, that's your honey-do list for this weekend. You get that put on the wall.
That's just one more thing on that list.
Well, you haven't been on the show for a while, and I'm glad you wanted to come back. This is a great time of year to do inside remodeling jobs. You can't do a lot outside. You don't have to mow the yard. It's too cold to go swimming. So you might as well remodel something in your home. And one of the things that really can make you feel good and add value to your home is to update that kitchen.
Oh, yeah. We're getting a lot of it now, and people are getting out of Christmas, and they're getting ready to do something in their house, yeah.
That's right.
So, and I always read these articles, and they're true. There's a lot of inexpensive things you can do to update your kitchen. People want to spend... I guess I need to get the mic closer there.
Yeah. There you go. We'll get you settled here.
Well, anyhow, you need to, there's a lot of inexpensive updates you can do to your kitchen. I talk to people a lot about it. Just changing the handles can make a huge difference in the way the kitchen looks. And, you're talking $50 or $60 in most kitchens. So for about $60, you can change the look of your kitchen just by changing the handles from those bright brass with the ceramic centers that...
Yes.
Yeah, you remember those?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you couldn't give those away now. But
oh, no. Yeah, that's true.
But we couldn't
You might
get
try
away
to sell them
from
on eBay. I don't know. Maybe someone in another country will buy them, but I don't know.
I had a whole boatload of them, about 150 of them, because we used to stock them, and I couldn't get rid of them. And not anybody even on eBay would give me any money at all for them.
Wow.
Somebody needs to figure out some sort of craft to do with those or something.
There you go.
And repurpose them into something completely different, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, but if you want to change those, that's $50 or $60. I mean, really, and it does change. It'll make you feel better about your kitchen. Not everybody can afford to do a whole kitchen remodel, and, that's not always what we do. We're doing a lot of door replacements. We do a lot of other things besides just a whole kitchen. Probably the handles and the countertops are the things that I get the most calls on. So,
and like you said, that will make a big difference in the overall look. And in the wintertime when we kind of have this cold weather and it's kind of gray and gloomy outside, just doing something like that in your home can just make you feel better and just kind of uplift your spirits, and plus improves your overall outlook on life if you can just make yourself feel a little bit happier by updating something in your home.
You say that. I read a study that was done by IKEA, and they found out that the people that were happy with their kitchen tended to be happier overall.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if people feel like their kitchen's a comfortable place they can come, and for $60, it's not very much.
That is right, and you spend a lot of time in your kitchen.
Sure.
Even though I'm not cooking and doing all the things that I was, a couple years ago, I still find myself spending a lot of time in the kitchen. And so that's one of the places, and we've always remodeled our houses. When Paul and I moved around, we always had to remodel our houses, and we always updated and remodeled the kitchen, because you do spend quite a bit of time there, and it needs to be a comfortable, happy place to be. There was a few times that we had kitchens that were pretty broken down until we got them remodeled, and and it's hard to want to go in there and do anything. It's hard to want to cook cook, or it's just, if things aren't functioning well, if it's just kind of ugly and just kind of depressing, it's hard to want to go in there and prepare food or spend any time in there. So I do have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Is it pretty popular nowadays? Are people putting like two different colors? Like, are they doing lighter uppers and lower darker cabinets, or is that just something that you see mostly on TV or whatever? But I've kind of seen that on a few shows on TV where they kind of promote that they're redoing a kitchen, and is that something we're doing a lot here, or is it something where you could go and maybe someone has darker cabinets on the bottom and they could just put in different uppers and make a neat look like that? Or
We do a lot of that. A lot of islands are a different color, more so the islands around here than other things. And
you mean the top of the island or the whole island?
No, the whole island will be like a different color than the kitchen. Okay. The reason people pick the island in particular around here is because when you watch a TV show, most of the people that are doing those remodels, money's not an object, and people are concerned about it going out of style or something. Where an island, they can say, okay, well, we can replace that later. But it is a nice touch. It's something we do a lot of. But sometimes people will, because they're concerned about how it's going to look in 10 years.
Right.
But it'll be, and I tell people all the time, I looked a lot better 10 years ago. 10 years from now, your kitchen isn't, no matter what you do, it's not going to look the same.
It's going to age just like you do. That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Did you look better 10 years ago?
Oh, probably not.
Oh, now, come on.
She looks good regardless.
That's what I was thinking. You look pretty good now. So, two of us,
Yeah, me and Brad were, so I had more hair 10 years ago. But,
well, yeah, that can be an issue, I guess.
But see, you're just beautiful anyhow.
I don't pay that much attention. I don't know what I looked like 10 years ago. I'm too busy to pay that much attention, I guess. But I always wondered if that was something more like a fad type thing. If you look at that as the two different color combinations, more of a fad, or if you think that's something that's going to stick, or are we more contemporary here? Or are we more, basic modern here? I don't know what we do.
The thing with the contemporary look, if you look back through time at kitchens, which I've been doing this, my family's been in it since the 40s, that tend to be trends. And right now we've been in that. We went through the French country. The molding was really big. And we're starting to trend back the other way where people are tired of dusting around the molding and stuff, and they're going more to the sleek look. We saw a lot of this in the 80s as well. And they're starting to do less molding, more sleek look, more clean lines. So here we're more traditional. So we're still staying with a lot of molding and stuff, but we're starting to see a trend towards more modern looks. What I call is not an ultra modern look, but kind of a soft contemporary look that can go traditional or contemporary at any point, depending on what you decorate it with. We're doing a lot of that.
And you have a great showroom. I don't know if people have been to your showroom or not, but I've been there a few times, and my husband and I bought cabinets, different things from you at different times. But you have a great showroom to come up and look around and kind of see all the different things that are available, and then you also have you have different colored woods and all kinds of things you can look at. So if you're not really sure what you're looking at, for me, I'm a visual person. I want to come and see it, touch it, feel it, all that kind of thing, and then I can better tell what it might look like in my own home.
Well, I call our showroom a toy store for ladies.
It is. It very much is, and there's just you have a lot of really neat stuff in there. A lot of different handles and knobs and pulls and
come open the doors and play with all the stuff.
Yeah, I play with the doors and see how they shut and
you know how the guys go into Lowe's and Home Depot and they go over and that's the way ladies do in our store.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do when I go in there. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. And you have different countertops and things. People can look at different colors, different styles of things. So it's a great place to go if you're going to redo your kitchen. Just to go and hang out there and just play for a couple hours or something and just kind of see, what maybe fits you or what you. And there might be something there that you haven't thought about.
I run into that a lot. The thing that, and this is something I run into too, and you guys probably do too. People are afraid to ask the question of how much. They'll make an assumption.
Sure.
And people will make an assumption. They won't ever come ask. Come ask. It doesn't hurt anything. You can find out that the answer is not what you want to hear, but it doesn't hurt or cost you anything.
That's true.
And, you probably get into this with heating systems and stuff, where people assume it's going to be one thing, and when they come in, they find out it's less. Like, I get people all the time think that it's going to cost them $20,000 to do their kitchen. Mm-hmm. Now, there are kitchens that it costs $20,000, but there are a lot of kitchens we do for between $3,500 and $6,000.
Sure, depending on what you want. And so I think that's what you said is really important, though, because sometimes as consumers, we have preconceived ideas of what we think something is, but until you ask, you don't really know. And so it's hard to make a educated or a good choice for yourself if you don't know
Right.
what
well,
you're looking at.
Right.
I'm sure people will think about replacing their heating and cooling system and never call you and then come in and they go,
Oh, I didn't know I could afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So,
Well, that's neat to know. Now, you also do estimates for people, like you will actually go into their home, correct? And if they want to do a remodel, do you go to their home and measure things for them and help them make decisions if they're not sure? If they want to, a lot of times we went in, we completely gutted ours to the wall because our kitchens were that bad. And so then we had all this space to pretty much do whatever we wanted to, unless we didn't want to move pipes or something. But still, you have a lot of variety. If someone's doing that, can you help them with functional layouts and all that kind of thing?
Well, what I run into a lot is people will come in not knowing what they want to do. They'll have been trying to figure it out on their own for quite a while. And within probably 10, 15 minutes, we've got them a plan that's workable for them that they like and really taken a lot of the pressure off of doing the project. I mean, a lot of times people come in and they're overwhelmed by their project, where if you just, it's like Barry said, why are you trying to figure it out? Why don't you have the professional come out and do it for you?
Exactly.
Barry's one of my sales guys, and
Sure.
and just I was hearing him talk to a lady. She was just so didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we're just as frustrated as they are, but most of the time we can figure it out.
Sure.
The funny thing is people look at big kitchens and think that must be really complicated to design. The smaller kitchens are the ones that really cause us the biggest headaches to figure out where you put things.
To get the maximum storage in a small space. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. I know that when we went because I had a pretty small, galley kitchen when we first bought our home in Nixa, and then we expanded it, we expanded the garage, then we expanded the kitchen into the garage, and we made it substantially bigger than it was, and it was a lot easier to figure that one out than it was for us to try and figure out how to get more storage in that little galley kitchen. So you're right. Sometimes the bigger ones are a little easier. You have a little more flexibility, maybe.
Oh yeah, you can do flexibility, but when you've got a small kitchen, you got to put a dishwasher, you got to put a refrigerator, you got to put a range, and you got to get all that in there, and the microwave too.
Yeah.
In just a little bit of space. So I'm sure there are people out there that've been thinking about it, they're frustrated with it. Just come on in, we'll figure it out. We'll put our thinking caps on and maybe pull a few hair out, but we'll get it figured out.
Dude, and especially if you have something like that, if someone can maybe just draw it out and say, I have a window here, and I have this here, and I have this here, and I have that there, does that help you? I mean, do you need a little bit of a...
If they come in with their basic measurements about where the window is and how big it is and how much space they've got, we can usually take that. It doesn't have to be accurate. We're going to come out and figure it out for you. And if you don't get it right, we'll make a good guess, and then we'll kind of lay it out and then go measure it. Those are pretty typical things, that you do because, nobody else has done, I do a kitchen, I do kitchens all day, but most people haven't ever done them. And, so don't be intimidated by it. And if somebody just doesn't want to do that, they can always have us come out. So
most people know how to use a tape measure, and if you got a tape measure and a piece of paper, you can kind of sketch something out and bring it in and let Brad and his folks help you out with that.
It's surprising. There's a lot of people that really don't know how to use a tape measure.
Really?
And I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
I just figured everybody knew how to use tape measure.
No, it can be very intimidating.
They can,
Really?
And there, believe it or not, there's people that they're fearful of a tape measure, and they just...
That's one of the
just
few
not their
things
thing.
I can do.
There's people that can't, and that's where these guys, really come in. I was talking yesterday to my buddy Matt Chapman, and we was talking about where people spend money in houses. Of course, we're building, our new houses and stuff, and really the two places that you really want to, in my opinion, put your money in a house is the kitchen and the bathroom that your company is going to use. Whether it's, a lot of your bigger houses will have like 2.5 baths and the little half baths, like a little powder room. And that's where when you have guests over and your parties and everything, that's the bathroom that most everybody uses. And so have a nice cabinetry and nice sinks and everything in there, and then your kitchen, because everybody sees that kitchen. And, so in my opinion, that's where I would want to put the most money in. A lot of people
and
say...
your heating and air system.
Well, yes, your heating and air system.
To make sure you're comfortable in your fancy kitchen.
Yes, absolutely. Very important.
Thought I'd throw that in there.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Mary. But, in your master bath, we always think, oh, we want this big fancy master bath. But really, most people don't see that except you.
Right.
And you can spend the money in there for things that make you comfortable. But if you want a show place, spend it in your kitchen. I mean, that's
well, and you know what? It seems to me like when people are looking at houses, and now I'm not a realtor, but I've looked at several houses, and Paul and I have owned several. One of the things that is really important to me looking to purchase out is the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
You can change the paint on the walls in the living room or in the hall, or in the bed, but the kitchen has to be. I mean, that was always a big thing for me, and that was like one of the most important things that I would look at. And like I said, we remodeled several because I go in and I'd look at Paul and I'd say, this kitchen ain't going to work for me. He's like, that's okay, honey, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
And he would. But that was always a huge, big deal to me because I do spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Sure,
and so,
absolutely,
Well, another big area people don't think about that a lot of gets ignored, and again, this goes back for me doing reading and studying. I don't know why I do it, but I do. But, things that happen that you need to be paying attention to when you're doing stuff with your house is when a lady comes home, her blood pressure tends to go up is what they found. And it's because they're walking through the garage, they're walking through the laundry room, and they see all the work they've got to do.
Right. It's like, oh gosh, I got to do this, I got to do that.
And making sure that area is neat and clean and behind a door is a big deal. Another area we do a lot of cabinets in now is your drop areas, or what I call a mud room.
Yes.
Where the other high pressure area is in the mornings because everybody's got to get to work, everybody's got to get to school. Having a place for the kids to have their bags.
So they're organized.
Yeah.
Right. You're not running all over the house looking for things.
So they get right out the door and everything's good. Those are two areas that women need to be paid attention to. That goes back strictly to how you feel about your house.
Sure. And how it affects your blood pressure. We have to take a break. I just got the break signal.
We better do it. Hey, before we go to break, I want to give out our numbers real fast. So if you got a call, you can be ready when we come back on the second half hour.
Good idea.
Yes, 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. If you're a Verizon customer, star 56, or you can send us a text message at 417-838-3192. We'll take a break.
And then we'll take your calls.
We'll take your calls. Be right back. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A child playing with a lighter is now thought to be the cause of a fire that injured 5 people and destroyed a home on Springfield's west side. It happened in the 2100 block of Mount Vernon. Fire crews found 2 adults with severe burns in the front yard of the home when they arrived. 3 children suffered smoke inhalation. A Willard teenager faces multiple counts of sexual offenses against a 15-year-old girl. 17-year-old Matthew White is accused of breaking into the girl's bedroom multiple times over the past 5 months and sexually assaulting her. White allegedly threatened the girl with a knife and threatened to harm the girl's pet bird. He's charged with first-degree rape or attempted rape, 3 counts of sodomy or attempted sodomy, and 1 count of sexual abuse. And the Army Corps of Engineers says it will shut down Masters Park on Stockton Lake effective March 1st. The Corps says budget cuts are necessary and the campground has been underutilized. Visitors can still swim, fish, and boat at Masters Park. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And join us for America's First News, Monday through Saturday at 6:05 a.m. on the Wall Street Journal this morning on AM 560 KWTO.
Piano Craft's year-end clearance event is going on now, and all remaining inventory from 2013 must be sold. Manufacturers' incentives, trade-ins, and floor models from Yamaha, Baldwin, Steinway, and more make this the greatest buying opportunity of the year. Pre-owned instruments start at just $4.99. Pre-owned grands start at just $14.95. Inventory is going fast, so don't miss the best buying opportunity of the year. Call 881-3035 or stop by Piano Craft in the Brentwood South Center across from Battlefield Mall.
You've had 60 some odd years to prepare for this moment. 60 some odd years that added up to a squishy, squashy backyard squirt gun battle. And it's here, in this healthy little water war with your grandkids, that the question hits you. How did I get here? Is it just living in moderation or saving with gusto? Like getting 20% off your Rite Aid purchases every first Wednesday of the month with Rite Aid's new Wellness 65 Plus. 20% off Wednesdays helps seniors save big on water guns and everything else. Wellness 65 Plus also lets you accumulate points for every prescription, even Medicare, that earn you up to 20% off your Rite Aid purchases fast. It's one more way Rite Aid is helping you stay here, now that you've actually gotten here. Here, soaking wet and slinking through your own rose bushes. Stop by your Rite Aid, enroll free, and save this Wednesday with Wellness 65 Plus. With us, it's personal. Certain limitations apply. See your Rite Aid store or riteaid.com for details.
Today will be breezy and much colder with sunshine, high of 30. Partly cloudy tonight, low 21. Then tomorrow mostly sunny, windy, and milder with a high around 50 and a low of 25. Breezy day for Sunday, not quite as cool with plenty of sunshine, high of 58. Partly sunny and cooler for Monday with a high of 41. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
It's 27 at AM 560 KWTO.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs."
I used to sing this song.
Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
And we're back.
Yes, we are.
Didn't that work slick?
It did. I'll tell you what. He's good.
He's good.
Fades it right out there.
Fades it right out. And that's our cue to say something.
That's right.
Speak up. Say something.
Speak up. Say something quick. So.
You know, before we start the second half of the show here, I have something that I'm pretty excited about. We had something happen this week at Spring Mountain Air. The Springfield Business Journal came in and took quite a few pictures and interviewed my son and I about our business and about the smart chip technology we have available now and different things. And so that is supposed to be online today. And then on the newsstands, I guess this weekend or Monday, whenever it comes out on the newsstand. So I'm really excited about that.
Absolutely.
It was fun and it was fun to talk to. We talked to Eric over there and I think he even put a little side note in about my sister and I owning Dogwood Printing in Ozark. So I'm anxious to see it and see what all he put in there. You know, when you do an interview like that and you talk about all this stuff, you're not really sure what the end product is going to be or look like. Yeah. So I think it'll be fun. So if you guys, anyone out there get the Springfield Business Journal, I think we're on page 6. I'm not sure. But anyway, we should be in there. So check us out.
Great.
Business Journal.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's usually a topic of at the coffee shop because one of the guys normally once a week we'll bring the Business Journal in and we all sit and look at it, and that's usually sets our topic for the day.
Well, there you go. Well, you can talk about us next week.
Next week, yep. So and if you know anything about the radio programs in there, well then they're gonna hound me about it. So.
There is. As a matter of fact, you might be in there too because we did talk about this show, and I told him that you were my co-host, and yeah, so it might just be chock full of all kinds of information.
Yeah, I'll really get.
Well, like I said, who knows what the end product's going to be? But we talked about a lot of stuff. So anyway, that was a fun thing for us to do.
Yeah,
enjoyed doing it. So
that is cool. I'll give our numbers one more time real quick in case some of y'all didn't catch them. 862-9977 if you're local here in Springfield. 1-800-375-0056 if you're out and about, and so it's a free call. If you're a Verizon customer, star 56, or send us a text. We are high tech now. And you can text us at 417-838-3192. Would love to hear from you.
Sure would. If you have a question about your kitchen, we have the expert in the studio
That's
today.
right.
So now would be the time to call and get your questions answered. Speaking of that, if someone wants to call you at your place of business, how do they get a hold of you?
725-0700.
That would be the number, and you're in Nixa.
Oh, yes, I am. I'm in Nixa.
And what is the address over there?
It's 2001 Michael Lane. So
It's a little confusing to figure out how to get around all that a little bit. If you haven't been there, you kind of
it's
go around is it Casey's?
Yeah, you go around Casey's.
Yes.
It's the first left past Casey's. So
And just follow that road around, and it'll snake you back there and take you right to Kitchenland.
Yep.
Yep.
You can see it pretty good from 160, but sometimes
The trick is getting back in there.
yeah. So you kind of have to know how to get there. So go around Casey's and just keep on that road.
Yep. You'll get to it right there.
And are you open? Are you just open Monday through Friday? Or are you
No,
open on
we're open on Saturdays. We like
Okay.
being open on Saturdays.
And what time are you open on
We're
Saturdays?
open 9 to 3 on Saturdays, and we're
Okay.
open tonight until 7.
Oh wow.
So, well, not everybody can be there a kitchen's a couple's decision. A lot of times they want both couples to be there, so
That's true.
you have to be there open later at night. We do set up appointments after hours, too, to help
Okay.
people out and stuff.
Okay.
So
Now the big HBA home show's coming up. Do you guys participate in the home show?
no, I haven't for a while.
Okay.
Just have chose not to. It's just,
Sure.
But I always go out there, and I always go to the stuff to check it out. So.
Sure. Check out your competitors there.
It is.
Well, I do happen to be on the committee, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do want to encourage everybody to come out to your showroom because I was in there just a few weeks ago, and there is some really, really neat stuff. And like you say, if you want to spend a couple thousand or you want to spend 20,000, you can do it right there. But, man, there's such neat ideas that
There
you'll
is.
see, and it's really cool. I love it. I love coming in your showroom and looking around. And I'm looking on your website right now, and there's a picture of a garage on here. It says garage organization, and I would love to have a garage that looks this good, let me tell you. That is amazing.
You mean your garage isn't organized?
My garage is not organized at all.
We did one time where a guy was storing a red Corvette.
Uh-huh.
And we did tile. We laid out a tile on the floor that's where he parked. There was a space that just fit his car.
Oh, wow.
And one color tile, and then the cabinets and the paint and everything matched the.
And that's the picture I'm looking at right here.
Yeah.
With the
Okay,
well, you know
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I say.
How
I would,
fun.
yeah,
So-
that is an awesome garage.
We're getting into some theme things too. So I've been people doing stuff. Well, like guys, they want to do they want to do a bar and they want it to look different. If you like the Kansas City Chiefs, we can do things in their colors. We've done a lot of that. For the right amount of money, I can even send in a picture of you and put your face on your countertop if you want.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
Wow. I guess
Well, that's thinking outside the box.
if a person was going to knew they was going to stay there forever,
Right.
they'd do that. But it'd be kind of weird buying a house and
With
somebody
somebody
else's
else's face is in the counter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be a little strange.
I was talking to a lady and I told her, we can put your husband's face all over the counter. She said, oh, no, please don't do that.
I have to look at him all the time, so please don't do that.
Wow, that is funny. Well,
We
go
have some
ahead, Brad.
callers on.
Yeah, we do. We do. So I think we better talk to Gloria.
Okay, Gloria here in Springfield.
Yes, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good morning,
Good.
Gloria.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Actually, somebody that has an organized garage, they don't have nothing else to do.
Well, I have an organized garage, but that was due to my husband. So he did all
I
that.
understand that. But, I mean, mine's unorganized because it was. I got to buy something for this person and that person. Things fall through, don't work out. But anyway, I've been to Kitchenland. I think that's where my daughter had all of her cabinets. They were building a new house, and I think she got all of her cabinets from there.
Well, they have a neat showroom, and I strongly
Yeah, I've been
advise
there.
anyone to go and check it out because it is a cool place to hang out.
I know I've been, and I'm going to make you jealous, all of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making chicken and dumpling soup.
What time should we be there, Gloria?
Well, it should be done about 5.
5? Okay, that'll work.
I started at 7:30, but
That'll work. This is a good soup day.
I know chicken and dumplings.
Yeah.
I've been making that for a long time. I put a little celery, a little carrots, onion, and I always put a clove of garlic in everything I make.
Oh,
yeah.
garlic's good and everything.
Sometimes 2 and 3.
There you go.
For you.
Yeah,
There you go.
well, that sounds great.
Okay, well, I just want to tell you, make you jealous.
Well, thank you, Gloria.
Thanks for calling today, Gloria.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Let's talk to Marion in Buffalo. Go ahead, Marion.
Yes. Do you make service calls to Buffalo
For cabinets or heating and air?
for heating and air?
To Buffalo, yes, ma'am, we do.
Well, we have a heat pump,
Okay.
and it needs servicing, I guess. But how much would you charge for a?
Our diagnostic fee is $74. And so we would come out there and check it out and see what's going on. Are you having problems with it, or do you just want it serviced?
Well, it just isn't working right, is all. It just runs all the time, and it doesn't seem to heat. Maybe all it needs is free. I don't know what you put in it now. Not Freon, but whatever.
Yeah,
I
refrigerant.
Refrigerant. I don't know what it needs. It needs something.
Well, if you want to call the office over there, that number is 831-4036. Okay. Tell me when you're ready, Marion.
Of course, my pen doesn't want to write now. Okay, now tell me.
Okay, it's 831
Uh-huh.
4036.
Uh-huh.
And it's real possible we can get a technician there for you today if you'd like, Marion.
Uh-huh.
So just talk to
Okay.
them, tell them what you got going on, and they'll get out there and help you out.
Oh, okay. And it would be $75 basic charge, right?
74, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Then I'll have my husband call there.
Okay, thank you, Marion. Have a great day.
This is not the time that you want your furnace
Not
to
working.
Not working.
No, especially today.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's so cold out there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. At the coffee shop, I talk about the coffee shop.
I'm gonna have to
quite
go to
often.
the coffee shop. He
You
learns
got
a
to
lot
come in.
there.
Hey, let me tell you, there is a lot learnt there at the coffee shop. But
where is this place?
I don't know which coffee shop you going to.
Hardee's, right
Hardee's,
here at
right
65
there?
and
Okay.
Chestnut Expressway. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Well, I
we
should have known by your coffee cup. You bring in a Hardee's coffee every Friday.
Yeah, that's right. But my uncle, one of his rental properties, he happened to be down in South Texas on vacation. Gets a call from one of his rental properties, and a couple elderly ladies live there. They smell gas. And so they called CU out. Well, they found a gas leak. CU shut the gas off. There, he's down there in Texas, and so he had to get somebody to go over there
And
and
there's
take
no
care of the
heat.
house.
Yeah.
No heat.
Sure.
So it's not a good time of the year
No,
to not have heat.
no, it's not. It's not.
You definitely want heat.
You do, and it sounds like it's gonna be pretty nice this weekend. But then, we're up and down all over the place. So
Sure.
you want to make sure your whatever it is you're using for heat, whether it's a heat pump, furnace, or whatever, that
Yeah.
it's working properly.
Absolutely. Winter's not over yet.
No, unfortunately.
we still got some more to go.
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid we do.
And if you want to really stay warm, go to Nixa, to Kitchenland, and spend a couple hours in their
There you
showroom
go.
and pick you out some new cabinets.
Or some new knobs or
Or
something.
new knobs or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Countertop, something.
Yeah.
We have coffee too.
And
There
they have
you
coffee
go.
too.
They got-
There you go.
yeah,
You can have a
okay.
cup of coffee and walk around and touch all the stuff.
Touch it all, and I love the drawers now that you go to push
Oh,
them in.
man,
and they
aren't those
Yeah, they
nice?
just go in slow, and you can't slam the doors and all that. And
You know what else I like? And I think you guys have this. I think I remember. All those, when you have a cabinet, like a bottom cabinet, and you have all those really neat racks you can pull out. And
Oh, yeah.
so you're not on your hands and knees digging around for pots and pans. That's what I'm doing now. But if I ever redo a kitchen again, man, I'm having those things.
Well, what they're doing, the trend now is to go more for, people are getting away from the sliding shelves, which are inside behind the doors. We're doing whole kitchens where they're just big drawers. I've done several of
okay.
those. Because then you
Wow.
just pull the drawer out.
I
It's all to
see.
you. People don't think about it, and then they think about how they're operating. You open the door, then you pull the shelf out. Well, now
So
you
this
just pull
saves
the
a step.
drawer. Yeah.
Are we getting lazy or what? We don't want to
Well,
do that.
It's just a trend that we're seeing happen as people are liking the bigger drawers and stuff.
That
and
makes sense.
Oh, I think that's a great idea.
Because you can make them as deep as, so you could have a drawer for pots and pans.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can make them different depths and things.
We do that all the time. I mean, the drawers will come, like if you think about a 3-foot wide drawer, that'll hold a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know what else I think is really cool is in the pantries where you have the slide out pantry sections, where you can slide out. You might have 3 or 4 sections there, and you pull it out, and it's like this whole sliding little wall thing that's got all this. I think that is just neat as it can be.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You talk about handy and convenient and compact and all. I mean, I think that's just a great idea.
You know, the funniest thing or that I find with the drawers that slide out and the quiet close is you'll see somebody get their kitchen redone. They'll have their friends over, and I'd happen to be there, and they'll all be around moving the drawer in and out, talking about it.
Isn't that?
Yeah, it's just fun to watch people go over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think those are great, and those slide out pantry things are just awesome.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Well, we spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and more and more, I think too, our technology has lent a lot to that because, back years ago, Mom did all the cooking. She was in the kitchen all the time, but we didn't have all these cooking shows that's on. You got Food Network, you got all these things, and so people see this. They see the fancy kitchens that they're using. They want to try these meals and dishes out. So I think because you can get on the internet, you can have your computer right there on the cabinet and look at all these different things. And I think technology has spurred a lot of that, more time in the kitchen, cooking different meals and doing stuff.
And we're almost
that.
like mechanics now. We have to have all these appliances. We
Yeah.
have to have all this stuff to do all these
yeah.
fancy meals.
Yeah.
You got to have this to chop this and this to blend that and this, and it takes space for all that stuff.
Sure it does.
And I'm one of those people that I like things to be organized and efficient and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get a kitchen like that, to me, that is the best.
Yeah.
That is the best.
Yeah.
Well, the number one thing that's requested in a kitchen is an island for some of the things you're talking about.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because people will sit around it and work around it and do their things. I mean, now you can have your pad out, you can do all your work there, and then on you go.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, sorry.
I'm looking at on your website. I was going through all your pictures here, and something that I find that's really neat. It's a kitchen that has an island, and in the island is your oven.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, instead of being over the wall. Yeah, it's under the island, so it doesn't take up space where you'd have wall cabinets or something. It is so cool. I had never seen that, and then,
The ovens are something we deal with on a regular basis. Most people would like to have a second oven if they could. Not everybody has room for one. And putting it under the countertops, sometimes we'll do it. I've put second ovens in laundry rooms, believe it or not.
Really?
Wow.
Well, you talk to a customer or you talk to somebody and find out how they live. What do you want a second oven for? And it's usually for the holidays or something.
Right.
So you have that second oven in an out-of-the-way place. The turkey's going to stay there for however long, and and you accomplish what you want with the amount of space you have. It sounds really weird, but when you think about it, it's
I
not.
think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah.
Your clothes smell like turkey for a couple of days, but other than that, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's just so many great ideas.
I was thinking you could just take your clothes out of the washing machine, hang them up, and let the oven while it's cooking warms up and dries them
Warms
that
up,
way.
dries
There
them.
you go.
Yeah,
Multifunctional.
there you go. That's right.
Well, there's always ways to work around things. If somebody wants something and really wants it and it's important, you just got to figure out a way to do it for them. And I hate saying no, and sometimes you have to, but a lot of times there's a way to figure it out if they're willing to make compromises and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, you have to be willing to work within the confines of the space you have available to you. So
Yeah,
that's usually the issue I have. I usually never have enough space.
Oh yeah, and I also, people, with basements, and they want a full kitchen in their basement so they can cook down there. Also, they don't have to go back and forth upstairs. I even knew some folks as an Oriental family, matter of fact, that put a kitchen out in the garage because some of the dishes they cooked, the spices and everything they used, would really,
permeate the house.
Yeah, and so they would cook those on their kitchen out there in the garage.
Well, here's one for you. I just I'm doing a kitchen outdoors, and it's going in this guy's pavilion, and he wants a really nice kitchen outside, and it's going to be a plastic kitchen outside in the weather. So
really,
yeah.
Wow.
So
well, if you put one outside, it's going to have to be able to withstand the weather, obviously.
yeah, and we do things like this. I've done several of them, and they're really nice if that's what you want. You know, so
Wow, that's interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. You know, I don't know in this area whether I would necessarily want one. If I lived in an area where we had more mild temperatures all year round, I would probably be outside all year round, you know. But
cooking and stuff.
Yeah, cooking and stuff. So I can see where it'd be kind of neat to do.
Sure it would.
Yeah.
Well, I have an outdoor kitchen. Mine's under cover
Uh-huh.
of my deck, and they're neat to have. But yeah, I don't use it a lot. I don't really use it year round here.
Yeah.
Because of the weather conditions, obviously, and when it's cold like this and the wind's blowing like this, it's a little difficult to want to be outside.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just got that we have 1 minute left in the show,
Wow.
so why don't you give out your contact information again so people know how to get a hold of you and where you're located?
you can reach us at 417-725-0700, and we're at 2001 Michael Lane in Nixa, Missouri, and that's right behind the Casey's.
There you go, right off the Highway 160 and CC.
Yep.
Or Main.
60,
160.
160.
160. Yep.
So what do you got going on this weekend, Mr. Mark?
I am going to work in my garage, believe it or not.
You're going to get it organized after the show, aren't you?
No, I started last weekend hauling stuff out and putting it in the storage and stuff, and I'm going to try to finish this weekend. It's my goal.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So.
And if you need help, please call Brad.
I will.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
being on the show again, Brad. It was great to have you on.
Don't call me to haul things off, just to help
Just
you organize.
to help organize. Yeah.
Okay, we have to clarify that. He does not haul off your junk out of your garage.
Yeah, and then like I say, if it warms up enough, the motorcycle will come out of the garage and take a quick ride. So
Going to work at the print shop tomorrow and get some things done up there, and then back to work on Monday.
Back to work on Monday. Yeah, that's the way it is. So, well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO. And you're plagued with green mildew.